Welcome back to what is now the sixth edition of the Money Mailbag. Haven't put one of these out since November the 18th, so figured it was time to clear out the email and the form spring, get these questions answered, and so we could get new questions sent in. Got actually about, I don't know, maybe about 8 questions to answer. Don't know if I'm going to get to all of them in this edition because of the fact that I only have 15 minutes to record. Yes, eventually I will upgrade the audio, probably after the holidays are done when I have time to sit down and figure it all out. But I do have a few minutes here to record it, a new edition, so let's jump right on into it with the first question. Okay, if I was going to start my own wrestling company, who would be the one guy I would center it around? As much as this pains me to say, if I was starting my own professional wrestling company, the one guy that I would want to start my company with would be John Cena. I mean, it's actually pretty obvious, and because the guy is over as over could be. I mean, outside of that Hulk Hogan, Steve Austin, and The Rock level, there's nobody as over as John Cena. Vince McMahon's cash cow is John Cena, so why wouldn't Christian's cash cow be John Cena? I mean, the great thing about John Cena is that while he's a babyface, he's still a heel. Because you got the C Nation that watches Raw to see Cena win, and then you got the people like me who are not Cena fans that watch Raw to see him lose. So you're getting both sides of the fence. That all the fan base is interested in John Cena, whether you're cheering him or booing him, you're still interested in what's going on with John Cena. Now, I have to say that you all know I'm not a big fan of Cena. I do respect the guy tremendously for his work in the company and all that he does, but the character is horrendous. So if I was running the company, clearly I would do something different with him. But the stuff with the Nexus and the fired, I'm doing air quotes, has, I don't want to say that I liked it or that I'm a fan of Cena now, but it's come off better than I anticipated it being. So they're giving him something different, and I hope to God in every way possible that the Juan Cena thing is done, that it never got off the ground. If you haven't had a chance to stop by my Facebook page, actually somebody posted or sent in to another website some pictures along with the theme song that they played for Cena that night. It's actually pretty interesting. I did laugh at the theme song. It's kind of funny, so check that out if you haven't. But yeah, so the answer is John Cena, plain and simple. Okay, next is, do I think the WWE is making a mistake with the other members of the Nexus, that they are still stuck as sidekicks, and what would I do to make them stand out? I think recently we've seen WWE get away from having them be sidekicks to a degree. I know in this day and age being tag team champions doesn't really mean much, but you have Heath Slater and Justin Gabriel in the tag team championship role, so that is giving them something to do. And Otunga has been like the de facto number 2 slash pot stirrer, where when Barrett hasn't been around, you've seen him lead them into SmackDown, where he was the leader those days. And then on Raw, when Barrett's around, you've seen him kind of like try to stir up the pot. So they've given some character development to Otunga outside of being a lackey to Wade Barrett. The only guys that really haven't done much are McGillicuddy and Husky Harris, but it's one step at a time. They've just recently gotten around to trying to separate or create something different for Slater, Gabriel, and Otunga. So they're doing a decent job at it. So that's that. The guys do need. Excuse me for a second. some character development and things for them to do for the angle to stay fresh. So they're working on it. So okay, next questions. Eventually I am going to do a little singing here and there. Just my personality. This actually came in right after the news of MVP being released. Do I think he will land in TNA? Probably. Um, he is, or he said that he wants to go wrestle in Japan for a while, which a while is probably 90 days until his no compete clause is up. So, I mean, if he wants to stay fresh and relevant, TNA would be the place to go. Um, so, I read today that he hasn't burned his bridges in WWE, so you could possibly see him there again. But I think TNA is logical at this point. Okay, what ex-WWE performer that has landed in TNA do I think has most improved his game? I think a lot of the ex-WWE guys that go to TNA go there because they're either washed up or there never was. You got guys like Kurt Angle and Jeff Hardy who were at the main event scene. They were that in WWE, so they really haven't improved much. Then the two guys that I'm thinking of off the top of my head are Mr. Anderson and Matt Morgan. I think Anderson, though, is in that spot where WWE always envisioned him as, just that he could never stay healthy or stay out of trouble. Other guy, Matt Morgan, he's got the Vince McMahon size, so it kind of baffles you why he would have released him. So I think the clear answer is that it would be Matt Morgan because he is in the main event now. He's a legitimate contender for the TNA Championship. So that's who I would think it would be. Although it does surprise me that Vince released him. Actually, now that I think about it, the other guy is Angelo De Niro. When he was on ECW, I always liked him. I thought he had good mic skills, good in-ring work. I'm surprised that he got released too. TNA's kind of put him in an upper mid-card role, which is probably where he'd be in WWE today. So those are three. Those are really two or three guys that have stepped it up since going to TNA. Okay. This reader says that he's really liked Shannon Moore in his second run in TNA, and my thoughts on pairing him with Jesse Neal. It gives him something to do. Really, I really don't follow much of TNA. I get into it here and there. I really haven't seen much of their work. I've seen some of it. The whole tattooed gimmick, like the Freaky Freakies. It works for them. So he's on TV. He's got a They actually have a pay-per-view match coming up this weekend. So it works for him. Shannon Moore's always been an underrated talent in my mind. I really, really liked when he was in WWE when he was teaming with Jimmy Wang Yang and they teamed up to face The Miz and Morrison. I don't know why it escaped me there. And they had those series of matches. So, good for him. He's got some work. He's got a tag team partner. So, good for Shannon Moore. All right, let's see how many form spring questions we can get through. If I don't answer them today, I'm just going to, give them written responses. Okay, do I have any idea what matches to expect at TLC? Reader says he might think it sounds a little stupid, but Cena versus Barrett again. It's possible that Barrett faces Cena. I really don't know where else the two of them are going to go. Probably in some sort of non-sanctioned street fight. Excuse me, my throat is exceptionally dry today. I have no idea why, but I'll try to get through this. Only got a few more minutes to go. Yeah, like I said, I could see Cena versus Barrett in some kind of non-sanctioned street fight. The thing is that I would figure The Miz was going to defend the championship against Orton, but now he's got the knee injury. That it was a work that turned into a shoot because he actually did injure his knee when he lost the title 2 weeks ago. So Edge and Kane are definitely wrestling for the World Heavyweight Championship. The stipulation will be picked tonight on SmackDown, depending on who wins that match. I don't know the spoilers. I actually stopped reading spoilers when started covering SmackDown. It just provides a better experience for me. So you got the two championship matches. Last year at TLC, you saw a TLC match, a ladders match, a tables match, and a chairs match. So there's four matches right there that I'm sure they're going to book again. I'd love to see Bryan Danielson or Daniel Bryan, whatever you want to call him, in a match. Dolph Ziggler probably going to defend the Intercontinental title against maybe if Caval in a ladder match. That'd be pretty good. Uh, BD Danielson. I don't know why I called him BD. Danielson. I don't know. Maybe he'll be on the pay-per-view. I hope so. But those are some general ideas of what you'll probably see on the pay-per-view. Okay, next is if I could move one person to Raw from SmackDown and vice versa, who would it be? The first thing I would do is I would put Bryan Danielson on SmackDown. SmackDown is the wrestling show. It's where you get at least 2 or 3 10-minute plus matches on TV a week. So why wouldn't you want one of your best workers on the show that you can wrestle on? So I would do that. And who would I send to Raw? I don't really know who I would send to Raw on SmackDown from SmackDown. Because SmackDown's really still in need of main event talent, and Raw, you don't want to send a younger worker there because of how crowded the main event picture is. So I'm gonna have to take a pass on that part of the question. It's a cop out. I'm sorry, but I will answer the other part of the question, and that is that if I could move somebody from Raw to SmackDown, it would definitely be Bryan Danielson. Okay, and actually, I do have time for one final question, and it will basically cover it. And it says, if WWE went back to TV 14, would it improve the product? And to a degree, yes, it would improve the product. The key is writing. 3 of my favorite shows on TV are The Office, Community, and How I Met Your Mother. And some weeks, depending on the topic, they will go to TV 14. Most weeks, though, they are PG-rated programs, and they're still very funny, very entertaining. WWE's problem is that they cannot consistently write good, entertaining PG programming. Everybody that reads this site, everybody that knows me knows what's my favorite movie, what's my favorite franchise of all time, Rocky. Only one of those movies was not rated PG, and that was the 5th one, and we all know that one wasn't very good. Okay? So it can be done. You can have entertaining PG programming. That's what WWE is not doing. Everybody thinks PG. Oh, things like Toy Story, even though it's rated G, or stuff on Nickelodeon, kitty crap. No, it doesn't have to be that. A lot of adult programming is rated PG. You don't need guys pointing at their dicks or cursing or giving birth to hands or cutting their penises off or any of that crazy shit that we saw back in the Attitude Era. You don't need that to have entertaining programming. Would I like to see a couple asses or curse words or a little bit more titty action? Yeah, I would, but it's not necessary to have the product be good and be entertaining. So, is it essential for them to go back to TV 14? No. What they need to do is call up these writers of How I Met Your Mother, Community, Office, say, yo, how do we make good PG programming? That's what you do. Get it out of your head that PG programming has to be about shit that you see on Nickelodeon. Look around and see all stuff that is watched by adults that is rated PG and is still very good and does not insult your intelligence. Thank you. End of rant. End of Money Mailbag. If you want to send in a question for the next edition of Money Mailbag, my email address is drmoney83@aol.com. That is DOCTORMONEY83@aol.com. Send it in. I'll answer it. I'm going out to dinner now with my girlfriend. She's paying because she won the football pool this week. I'm not afraid to say that or ashamed at it. I got 9, 8, 7, countdown on, 5, 4. I'm done. Goodbye. See ya.